and obviously some changes from earlier today. We have a hurricane. It was upgraded at midnight, and during the day the computer models have been trending toward the west, bringing it closer again to South Florida. It is trying to gain strength, getting a little bit better organized as it moves closer to our area. It's moving through the Bahamas now, a little under 400 miles away from South Florida, and expected to have an impact here, a significant impact. Category 1 with 80-mile-an-hour winds early morning, Saturday, 2 a.m., working across Andros, and then eventually 85-mile-an-hour winds. That's 2 p.m. on Saturday. Then working right along the coastline, down the line track, pretty much paralleling the beaches along Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. This is Saturday evening and overnight. There's the Sunday 2 a.m. position, 80-mile-an-hour winds. You'll notice pretty much our entire viewing area is still in the error cone, so we could still see shifts back toward the west or to the east in the next 24 hours, but certainly the trend during the day has been for those westward track shifts, and that will continue through the evening. There's a look at the latest tracks and the official forecast track showing up in red there, and almost all of the models lined up right underneath that, which is paralleling our coastline just offshore and then racing up the east coast after that. All right, hurricane warning now in effect for the entire viewing area, as is the tropical storm warning. So that means hurricane conditions are likely in the next 24 hours. I think our peak winds and rainfall start to appear later tomorrow evening and into tomorrow night. The probability of tropical storm force winds is 39 miles an hour stronger. That would be between about 70 and 80% for most of the area. The number should be a little bit higher for the Treasure Coast, and they are looking at, of course, gusty winds and some heavy rain. So you want to bring in your patio furniture, and with a hurricane watch, we recommend that you put up hurricane shutters. With a hurricane warning, obviously it's necessary. This is last minute for a lot of folks, so if there's anything you can do to prepare your house like you would typically do when you have 24 or 36 hours, do so now. Get it ready before the storm starts to really pick up. That will be tomorrow afternoon. There's Saturday 6:30 wide area of wide wind field of tropical storm force winds showing up in yellow, and we start to get into some 60 and potentially 70-mile-an-hour winds in this area here tomorrow evening and overnight. Those are hurricane force winds showing up in red there, brushing along the coastline of northern Palm Beach County and then paralleling up through the Treasure Coast. Now, coastal areas, typically 441 to the east, and on the Treasure Coast, it would be pretty much I-95 toward the east coast too. So those are the areas that are most susceptible to the strong winds and the heavy rainfall. So Palm Beach County tomorrow morning, picking up some brief rain squalls during the day. Those winds continue to pick up in the afternoon, 30 to 40 tomorrow evening, and overnight picking up likely our peak winds could approach 70 miles an hour with wind gusts much higher. And on the Treasure Coast, a similar situation, just delayed a few hours with the winds later in the afternoon and into the evening hours too. I'm going to toss it over to James Whelan. He's going to have more on the local effects.
Yeah, so the two big effects, we talk about wind and we talk about rain with hurricanes here and some storm surge too. But first we'll talk about rain and wind. How much rain are we going to get? Now, some of these maps are going to be adjusted since we just got this new data in. But this is the potential that we can see here as we go through, not just one, this is a couple of days here. This is going to go through Sunday night. And the potential rains here, we could see anywhere from, say in general, 2 to 6 inches. With some isolated areas, though, could pick up a lot more, maybe a foot of rain in some areas. But in general, that would be very, very small localized area. In general, anywhere from, say, 2 to 5, maybe 6 inches of rain. Now, the wind gusts here as we go through the day tomorrow. The morning, we're okay. You can rush any kind of preps to completion there in the morning. It's going to start to get a little bit breezy. I don't think there's going to be a ton of rain quite yet, but you're not going to have a ton of time. I think by the afternoon, things go downhill very quickly. This is 4 o'clock. We're looking at tropical storm force winds already arriving across the area. And then into the overnight hours, we could look at even the potential for some hurricane force gusts, depending on if that core actually makes it on land or not. And we could see that along the coastline. Saturday night into Sunday morning will be the worst of it. First starting in Palm Beach County, then lifting onto the Treasure Coast later in the night and early in the morning on Sunday morning. Then by Sunday afternoon, this thing's moving. It's not going to stick around and dilly-dally. It's going to get on out of here, and I think by Sunday afternoon, things quiet down. Wind comes out of the south. It'll be very muggy and sultry, but all in all, the storm will be over by then.